where Hinduism took the wrong turn. Hindu philosophy and the Hindu seers have had an eternal transaction with the Vedas, Upanishads, and the Bhagavad Gita, volleying back and forth on the same court. Where are we at the end of it? There is the central theme, the ground or the premise, and a lot of mass has gathered around the center, extending its circumference or periphery vastly and greatly, yet there will inevitably always be a boundary, no matter how far away you put the boundary, for even the farthest boundary is bounded to the center. What has been the central theme of Hindu philosophy and its long winding unyielding timeline punctuated by Hindu seers of yore and lore and yesterday and today? What has been the central theme? Spiritual aggrandizement, spiritual achievement, spiritual progress, higher and higher order spiritual experience with its alpha, beta, gamma states that are an outcome or veritable effects of Lalita Sahasranamam, Nirvana Shatakam, and the rest of the scintillating hymns, mantras, and chants galore. All this is becoming. Becoming is time. The goal, aim, and end of Hindu philosophy has always been more of the central theme based on the ground or central premise brought about through more advanced and sophisticated techniques and methods, normalized and standardized as systems and practices that have been handed down the generations to add to them again, keeping the central theme intact. The ancestry of thought and pattern intact. The ancestry of thought and pattern is intact. Time and time again, time. For the emphasis has always been on time or becoming. No matter how far away the Hindu seers of yore and lore and yesterday and today put the boundary, it was firmly bounded to the center. With tons and tons of systems and practices and volumes of highest philosophies of the world that originated on this blessed soil, the blessed land must have been transformed into a land where love and compassion abound. And there is nothing but love and compassion and its concomitant pristine perspicuity. Has that happened? Where is the love and compassion? Show me the love and compassion. If the soil was so extraordinarily fertile and the seed equally potent, then why was compassion always stillborn? Or there was always a miscarriage of compassion? Spiritual evolution as the central theme that personifies and embodies becoming was the reason and is the reason. Spiritual evolution, or more accurately, psychological evolution, soiled and spoiled the soil so incomparably fertile, poisoned the seed, stifled, strangulated, and killed compassion in the womb of creation. The idea or the central theme has always been milk and honey that flowed like the Ganges and Brahmaputra with its concomitant prosperity and material well-being that drowned you in its deluge and momentous floods that swept you away, steeping you deep in the abysmal depths of unfathomable ignorance. to see how the central theme, with its incomparably immense field, has eclipsed total insight, creation, and the full bloom of compassion, because it nipped the right questions and deep independent inquiry in the bud with its ghastly snipe of becoming, or the ghastly snipe of becoming. To refuse to look or to ignore, and therefore ignorance. How can you see when you refuse to even look? The arrogance and adamance of ignorance. When you don't see, how can you be a seer? That is why Adi Shankara, Ramanujacharya, and Ramana Maharishi are among the seers who never saw. Ignorance, and from that comes the word ignoramus. Do you see how psychological evolution gathers mass, inertia, and weight? The weight of conditioning and programming is the gravity of the matter. Matter so massive and inertia so crushing that it weighs you down in the form of ignorance. Knowledge is ignorance. Where Hinduism took the wrong turn. Simple. If you don't see, why don't you ask, why don't I see? Because you don't know that you don't know. The remarkable telling sign of ignorance. You know, or you say I know, therefore you don't know that you don't know. You refuse to look, you ignore. Knowledge is ignorance. Where Hinduism took the wrong turn. Adi Shankara, Ramanujacharya, Ramana Maharishi, and the rest of the Hindu seers who never saw because they never saw, knowledge is ignorance. The fundamental departure in the history of any philosophy. The astounding beauty of Jiddu Krishnamurti's fundamental departure.